All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Practice Better's Better Business Conversations. My name is Jen Miller, business success coach with Practice Better, and I am joined by our special guest today, who we are so excited to have with us. Hi, Kathleen. How are you?
Hey Jen, I'm doing so great. I love getting to chat with you. I'm a huge fan of Practice Better, and this is like one of my favorite topics to dive into, so I'm excited.
Amazing. I'm excited too. And to share with everyone, Kathleen's going to be talking to us today all about 3 secrets to running online challenges that fill your coaching program. So we know that this is going to be such a hot topic for our community. And yeah, I'll just introduce Kathleen for anyone who is new to her. So Kathleen helps health coaches really streamline and grow their businesses online so they can be more profitable and impact more lives. Kathleen is the founder of Health Coach Solutions and is the co-host of the Wellness Business Podcast. She's also the co-founder of the Wellness Business Insiders Club, which is a training and mentorship program for wellness entrepreneurs. So as you can see, Kathleen has a wealth of knowledge, and we're so excited to chat with you today, Kathleen.
I've been around the block a time or two, that's for sure.
Yeah, amazing. Well, yeah, I'll hand it over to you and let's dive right in.
All right, yeah, so I'm going to screen share here because I do have a slide deck that I think is going to make it helpful. You may want to take some notes, but I think this will help kind of guide the conversation and what I want to cover today. So we are going to cover 3 secrets to running online challenges that fill your coaching programs. So here's the thing, free online challenges are one of the best ways for people to learn more about you in a completely no risk way and see how that you're the right person to help them solve a problem or reach one of their goals. And having an irresistible free offer to draw people to you is so important. Whether it's a PDF guide or a webinar or something else, you need to have something of value that's going to attract your ideal clients to bring them into your world and then offer them your solution. So having a challenge as your irresistible offer is a great way to also build your email list of potential clients. And a free challenge is one of the best ways to do it because you get to do it in a very few short days. So it really expedites that customer journey or shortens your sales funnel, which are both huge benefits to running an online challenge. So here's what we're going to talk about today, the benefits of running challenges. And really, I'm going to share with you why they can be even better than webinars, the ideal length of time for running your challenge, like how many days should it be, how to choose the right topic or theme for your challenge, because that's a question I get all the time. Well, what should my challenge be about? So we're going to cover that. And the keys to having your challenge lead to filling your program. And that's probably really one of the most important things we're going to cover today because it's great to run a challenge. I think they're fun. However, you want this to be part of your marketing strategy. So it's important that the challenge that you run strategically leads people to signing up to work with you in one of your paid programs. So I'm Kathleen LeGrys, founder of Health Coach Solutions and the co-host of the Wellness Business Podcast, as Jen mentioned. So I've been at this for about 8 years. I have had the chance to help thousands of health coaches all over the world streamline and scale their business online with my Done For You coaching programs, challenges, and resources. And here's the thing, here's why I know this works. Back in the day when I was a brand new health coach, my first few clients came as a result of running online challenges. So over the years, I've just had a chance to test and fine tune and tweak and make plenty of mistakes along the way. So this is a topic I love sharing because I have learned kind of the do's and the don'ts over the years. So I'm going to be sharing some of that with you today. So you may be wondering, okay, an online challenge sounds interesting, but what is it? So an online challenge is basically, it's just a free offer. So it's a free short-term online event that's going to help you generate a buzz, get in front of more of your ideal clients. This is also where you're going to be providing value and giving people a sample of what it's like to work with you. And then at the end, lead them to your paid program where they can get the full solution. So here's something really important to keep in mind is that a free challenge is really about getting people small wins. It's not about giving away the entire solution, because if you do that at the end, they're going to think, oh, well, thank you very much. I don't need your help. So this is just about giving baby steps that are going to kind of set the foundation, and it actually leaves them wanting more, which in this case is you want them to sign up for your paid program. And whether that's your one-on-one coaching, whether that's an online program, like whatever your offer is going to be, you just want your challenge to lead people to that as the next step. So here are some benefits of running online challenges. You get to quickly, very, very quickly build trust and authority with the participants. You get to grow your email list and really bring people into your world. And if you're someone, I hear this a lot too, well, I had an email list, but I feel really bad even reaching out to them because they haven't heard from me in months. A free challenge is a way to get in front of those people again, to re-engage them and really like revive your email list. Number 3, it's also a great way to kick off a brand new Facebook group. And also similar to maybe you've let your email list kind of like die off a little bit. If you feel like your Facebook group has fizzled out, running a free online challenge is a great way to breathe new life into your existing Facebook group. And then number 4, this is so key. And I think it's one of those things that sometimes people forget about when they're running a challenge, is that this gives you the chance to get incredible and invaluable insights about the pain points that your ideal clients have, because they're going to be asking questions in the whatever forum you choose. We'll go into a little bit later, but they're going to be asking questions, having conversations. And 9 times out of 10, some questions are going to come up that you hadn't even thought about, that, oh my gosh, that's something they struggle with too. I thought that was so simple. But we have to remember, as health coaches, we're so much further along in our health journey than a lot of our ideal clients are. So some things that we think are just so simple and easy, for your ideal clients, it may be something either hadn't thought of before or something where they really need help and support. And then number 5, use it as step 1 in your funnel or your customer journey, and then lead them to the paid program, like I mentioned before, because you want your next logical step to be your paid program. So here's one thing to remember too, is that even though your challenge is free, it can lead to revenue in a very short period of time, because you're going to invite them to your coaching program if they want additional support to achieve the outcome they want. So I've had people in the past say, well, why would I put all this time, effort, and energy into running something that's free? And it's because of this, because you get to build that trust rapport in a very short period of time. And then some people are going to want to take the next step with you. So here's the thing. I think webinars are great. I have run webinars in the past, but when you host a webinar, people really only have 60 to 90 minutes to spend with you. So that's kind of a really short period of time to build that know, like, and trust factor, versus running a challenge where people get to spend a few days with you and they really get to know you and connect with you and bond with you. And that's huge in the customer journey, and people, trying to make that decision, is this person right for me or not? So rather than having that hour and a half with you, they're going to get to spend several days with you in a Facebook group or other online forum. So here's a very, very important tip, because this is a common mistake that I see some coaches make, is that you want to decide before you run your challenge, what offer do you want to present once your challenge is over? So just know, what program do you want to lead them to? Maybe it's a detox program. Maybe it's a 30-day jumpstart. Maybe it's your 6-month program. Maybe it's something else. But whatever it is, you want to know ahead of time what it is you're going to invite them to, because the challenge that you're running and the topic needs to be congruent with your free offer in order for this to work. So another question I get a lot is, okay, how long should my challenge be? And how do you decide on a topic? So we're going to cover that. So for me, in my experience of what I see other coaches doing, 5 to 7 days is that sweet spot. So that's a really good range. And again, you want it to be about a topic, that your audience is going to be drawn to, but also something that you cover in your coaching program, because you want it to be just like a seamless next step. It's like you're creating a path to bring people from one step to the next, and that next step is your coaching program. So you want to make sure that you know your niche and what is going to appeal to them. So again, you want to reverse engineer the process to make it successful. So think about what is your niche and what is your paid program about, and what can your challenge cover that is going to make your paid program the very next step for them. So topic ideas include, so I'm going to give you some examples here. So if your niche is about helping women with food sensitivities eliminate gluten from their diet, here's some ideas of what you could cover each day. So day 1 could be other names for gluten that are considered hidden ingredients that most people don't know about. Day 2, you can provide helpful apps or suggestions for resources for gluten-free food options when you're dining out. Day number 3, 7 gluten-free snack ideas. Like when you're going gluten-free, you feel like you're gonna starve to death because you don't know what to eat. So you're not giving them a full menu plan, but on this day, we're gonna cover 7 amazing, delicious gluten-free snacks. Day 4, share a couple of tips about how to avoid cross-contamination in your kitchen. And then day 5, share a couple of tips for handling meal planning when you know that woman, she's the only one in the family that's gluten-free. Nobody else is gluten-free. So how do you organize your kitchen? What do you do in that case? That walks you through day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is a good example. You're not giving them the entire solution here, but these are super high value tips that for someone who's trying to figure out how to go gluten-free, this is going to be incredibly, incredibly helpful for them. So another idea would be, if you know, and this is for most people, this is for most health coaches. I know this was the case for me, and this goes back to, again, really, I thought this was something that was really simple and that most people were already doing, but what I found was that that was not the case. So if you know one of your clients' top struggles is menu planning, that could be a great option for your free challenge. So here's what you can cover each day for that. So day 1, pantry clean out tips, right? This is where you go through your pantry and pull out all those foods that are like buried in the back and they're probably expired. Day 2, organizing your kitchen and scheduling a meal plan and prep day. Day 3, creating your weekly menu. Day 4, grocery shopping tips and hacks. And then day 5, meal prep time-saving tips, right? So these 5 topics introduce very simple solutions, like little baby steps, and some of your challenge participants will still want help with the next steps, right? This isn't like everything you would ever want to know about menu planning, but it highlights some key aspects of making sure that they're getting off to the right start. So as an overview, here are 3 things that you want your challenge to do. So number 1, you want it to build awareness. So this is where you're going to provide helpful and valuable information to draw people to you. Number 2, this is where you're going to be able to nurture relationships because you're going to be spending 5 to 7 days with these people in a Facebook group. This is where you really get to build trust and connection so that you're seen as the trusted leader and a great resource to help them with the next steps. And then number 3, this is part of the customer journey in the funnel, lead people to take the next step with you. So this is where they can work with you to reach their goals. And this is where you convert them to a paying client. So steps 1, 2, and 3. So build awareness, nurture relationships, and then convert to paying clients. So as you're thinking about this, depending on what your niche is, what topics would be ideal for you to cover in your challenge? This is where you get to brainstorm. So you just want to make a list of questions and struggles that you see and hear from your clients and your audience. So what comes to mind for you that you know they would find helpful? So you can either write this down pen to paper. Sometimes I like using Evernote or Trello, but you just want to have one central place where you can do an initial brainstorming session and then be able to go back to it. So if you still aren't sure and you need some ideas, there are some ways that you can find out. So you can find out by asking questions on social media. One great way to do this is you can run polls on social media by asking some questions. You can also look at other Facebook pages, other Instagram profiles that are related to your niche. You can also look at books and magazines for ideas. So there's kind of plenty of ways that you can even look on Amazon, look at Amazon book reviews and look at people's comments and questions, because sometimes that'll give you some ideas too. So here's what not to do. You don't want to run a challenge on a topic that is not related to who you help and how you help them, because it's great to do a challenge. It's great to build your email list, but it's not great to have this group of people who are excited about a topic that doesn't lead to a way that you can help them. So for example, if your coaching program is about balancing hormones for menopause, you don't want your challenge to be something like how to grow an herb garden, because that's not something that directly relates to your coaching program. So I hope that makes sense. So here's some things that your challenge can include. You want to have some sort of hub, an online forum. For most people, that will be a Facebook group. If you don't want to run on Facebook group, another option is Mighty Networks. If you're using Practice Better, you can run your challenge on Practice Better. Is that right, Jen?
It is, Kathleen. Yeah, thanks for the shout out. Yeah, you can use a fixed date program to do that, and you can easily run your challenge, and you can use the group chat feed as sort of the community piece. So
so I have had people that have used Practice Better for a challenge and it's gone really, really well. You also want to have emails for each day of the challenge that prompt people to go back into the Facebook group or into that group chat, because that's where a lot of the action is going to happen. So people are looking to you as the leader. But what's cool about this is people are going to look at other people's posts, other people's questions. So that kind of keeps the energy going when people continue to go back into the group. And then you also want to have posts and graphics for your group. So each one for each day of the challenge. And then ideally, live streams in your group on the same day or at the same time each day, if possible, just for consistency. So I'm going live every day at 11 a.m. Pacific, just so people can set that on their calendar. So live streams are really going to be a great way to expedite that know, like, and trust factor when people see you every day showing up on video. And then this is optional, but I always love offering prizes, and it does make it fun. It makes it fun for the participants to offer prizes. So even something as simple as an Amazon e-gift card. So it could be at the end of the day, it could be every other day. This doesn't need to be anything expensive or elaborate. It could be a $10 Amazon gift card, a $25 Amazon gift card. And when I was running challenges, I did it very simply. It was based on participation in the group, because that's another incentive to get people in there. And you want them in there because that's part of the benefit of the challenge. You've got this great community, and it's also where they're going to get to know you more. So when I would run challenges, what I would do is I would open up all the comments for that day. And then I would scroll up and down, like close my eyes, scroll up and down, and put my finger on the screen and pick somebody. Just super simple, totally at random. So the more people participated, really, the more chances they had to win. So that always worked really well. And I tested this time and time again. The challenges that I ran when I didn't have prizes, the engagement wasn't nearly high enough. And I know that sounds really silly, but people like to have like a little incentive to participate. It just makes it kind of fun. So something to keep in mind. So this part is important too. When and how to introduce your paid program. So one thing you want to do along the way during your challenge is to plant seeds. And by that, I mean, especially if you're doing a live stream. When I work with my clients in my menopause rescue program or whatever the name of your program is, a lot of my clients say they love this, this, and this. Or when I coach my clients about this topic, what they love about it is this, and here's the result they get. So you're just kind of like sprinkling in little stories or little anecdotes of how you help your clients, because that's kind of building momentum in their mind, like, oh, she helps people with that. I wonder what else she offers. So that's really important. And then after your challenge is over, you can introduce your paid program as soon as the last day of your challenge. So you want to post about it twice in your group. So say, for example, you're doing a 5-day challenge and your promotion is going to be for 5 days. So you can promote your paid program, maybe have an incentive or a bonus or a special offer or an incentive, so that when they do enroll in your program, within those 5 days, they get some incentive, right? So you want to post about it in your group twice, at least twice, during that 5-day promotional period. And also in that 5-day promotional period, you want to send out 5 to 7 emails to invite people to your program. So this will be people who signed up for the challenge because they're going to be the most interested. You can also email this to your entire email list if you want to. I've done it both ways, pros and cons. If you're in doubt, go ahead and email everybody about it, because not everybody's going to want to join your challenge, but they may be interested in the program you have to offer. Just like, I don't know about you, Jen, but I'm good about signing up for webinars, but I'm not that great about attending them. So if you sign up for something and you don't attend the webinar, or you sign up for the challenge and people don't participate, you still want them to get your offer. So there's no harm in still sending people out, whatever your promotion is, if they haven't done the challenge. And then back to the issue of live streams. I think it's a really great idea to do at least one live stream in your group where people have a chance to ask questions. So this will be a chance for you to also address possible objections that people may have. And that's, again, going to give you really good insight and information and intel about where your potential clients are right now and what may be preventing them from taking the next steps. You can answer those questions that they may have.
Mm-hmm. Kathleen, I just had a question there that I thought I would mention. So with the live streams piece, so in terms of what you recommend sharing during those streams, like, do you think it's best to just simply do Q&A kind of style, like you're saying on this slide, to answer any, possible questions or objections and so on? Or would you recommend, actually sharing content in that format too?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I do recommend, so say you're going to do a 5-day challenge, that you're going to include like whatever topic it is each day. So that's a really good question, because you could either deliver it via live stream only, where you have an outline, you're going to cover things. If you're going to be doing some sort of demo in your kitchen, you can do that. Or you could do a slide deck. So it's totally up to you. So if you were to do a live stream, say in your Facebook group, you could just do it through Zoom. I think you could do that through Practice Better, right? You can do Zoom.
Yeah. You can use the Zoom integration to do like a group session. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think it depends on the comfort level of the coach, and what appeals to them the most. I think the more face-to-camera time you can have with people, the better. But if you're more, okay, I think they really need examples of this, kind of like an example with this slide deck. Sometimes visuals are helpful. So either, let's break it down to 2 options. Either present it in a slide deck format, or just sharing the information face to camera.
Yeah, that's helpful for sure. Because I think, especially those that are new, like you're saying, the video piece can be intimidating. So it's like, okay, how should I do that exactly? And what should I cover? So I think having those sort of 2 options is really helpful. Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to share a third option, because I know one of the barriers is, oh my gosh, I have to do this live. What if something happens? And chances are something is going to happen. I hate to tell you, but it happens to me almost every time. It happens to everybody. That's kind of the beauty of live video. So a third option would be you could record it ahead of time and then upload it to your forum, whether that's Practice Better or a Facebook group. And that could be recorded face to camera, or it could be your recorded slide deck that you're adding into your Facebook group.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that's great. And I think that's another nice option for someone who may be a little bit weary of doing things live, just to get started. Even, maybe the first round, they do the challenge, they do it that way, and then they get a little more comfortable and can do it live, the next time or something like that.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And I think also the first time, do what works for you, because if it scares you and freaks you out, you're not going to enjoy the process. So I think, especially when it comes to video, I think baby steps are great.
Yeah, I love that, Kathleen. Yeah.
So here's one thing to know, and if you haven't done a promotion yet, this is going to sound like a lot, but I promise it will make a big difference. You want to send at least 2 emails on the last day of your promotion, because I've been doing this for 8 years. I talk to a lot of other people. It's the same thing, no matter what. Most people are going to wait not till the very last day. They're going to wait till the last final few hours, without a doubt. So day 1, especially if you have some sort of bonus or an incentive, this is for your paid program, you'll get a few, or you can get an influx of people on day 1. But then things kind of fizzle out. You think, oh, nobody's interested. They're not going to sign up. No, I don't know why. Like, I guess we're just all procrastinators. And I will say I'm guilty of this too. But most people will wait till the very last day. Have you experienced that too, Jen?
Yeah, I was just like smiling because yes, absolutely. And it's funny because if you're not used to that and you're just starting out, like mentally, that can be really tough on you, because you're like you said, oh my gosh, no one's interested. What's happening? Yeah. But then, yeah, it's been the same experience that I've had as well.
It's like, I know, okay, day 1, I mean, day, whatever the last day is, I gotta be ready. You're gonna get a bunch of questions, like, till the last 20 minutes. I don't know what, but so just be prepared for that's likely to happen. But that's also the point, the day you don't want to take your foot off the gas pedal. So by sending those 2 emails, usually, sometimes I'll do 3, but for sure 2, 1 in the morning, and then 1 about 4 hours before the offer is going to expire.
And with those emails, Kathleen, are they sort of just reminders of the timeline and the deadline kind of thing? Or do you have any additional sort of story in there? Those last 2, like, are they just pretty to the point, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. So say, for example, you're going to do 5 emails. It doesn't matter how many you're doing. Each one should touch on something a little bit different. Maybe you're going to share a story in one of the emails, how your program has helped other people, or how you went through a similar issue or struggle. So your final emails, yeah, it's, hey, this is your last chance. Either the price is going up, or this bonus is going away, or I added a new bonus. Just something that, like, here, like, they've been getting emails from you for the past 3 or 4 days. Now is the time to take action. So one thing to share in those 2 final emails is, like, maybe on one of them, you can focus on one of their top struggles that they have, and then how your program will help them solve that. And then the final one is usually pretty short and sweet, right? Okay, we're 4 hours left. This is your last chance to join this program. Just basically short recap, who it's for, how it will help them, and then the link to join. So my last one is usually like the shortest.
Yeah.
And if you have people who have joined the group and they're already, like, loving the vibe or something, you can even ask permission, but, like, take screenshots of some of the things that are already going in the group, because people don't want FOMO. Oh, it sounds like fun. What's going on over there? And
Yeah, that's a great one. I love that idea, because that's a little way that you can sort of loop in and sort of leverage people that have already joined potentially, and some of the buzz.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So it really is. It's every challenge you do, it's a test, and it gives you a chance to get feedback and maybe make some minor tweaks and adjustments for the next one you run. So you just want to look at okay, for this challenge, what worked well? What do you want to change or add for next time? And then once you have that in place, this is something you can rinse and repeat time and time again once you figure out what works, and then decide how many times during the year do you want to run this. And that's a little bit going to depend on how long the program is that you're leading people to. So if you're doing a 5-day challenge and it's going to lead to a 90-day program, so that's 3 months, you could probably run this 3 times a year. You want to give yourself some time off, obviously, during the year. But if it's leading people to a 21-day program or a 30-day program, this is something you can rinse and repeat up to 4 times a year. But once you have, that's what's great about them. Once you have it in place, now you have a system that you can duplicate over and over again. So that's it. And I would love to connect with any of you guys who would either like more information if you have questions. So I usually hang out. I'm on Instagram at Kathleen LeGrys. You can also contact me through my website and also the Wellness Business Podcast.
Yeah, amazing, Kathleen. That was so helpful and valuable. And I mean, I think using challenges is such an effective way to really, bring clients into your programs, as you shared. And sometimes if someone's just starting out, it can feel a little intimidating, but I love the way you broke it down. It's really simple to do. And I love the idea of that sort of rinse and repeat, right? It's like you pick up the learnings each time, and then you can continue with that the next time, and so forth. So I think that's
Yeah.
really
And then, how much mental energy and time does it save you? You don't always, first of all, you don't need to offer 5 different programs. You can run a very profitable and successful wellness business with 2 programs. I do recommend, I don't want to get off topic, but having a short program and then having a longer term program, that's all you need, right? So you want to run challenges that leads to one of your programs,
Yeah.
make it simple. Put systems in your business that you can do over and over again, so you're not scrambling and like, hey, well, what should I do next? I was like, well, maybe you don't need to do something else next. If what you have works, keep doing that.
Yeah, it's like don't reinvent the wheel if you've done something that works. And even if it didn't quite work how you wanted, like, what have you learned from that? And maybe you can tweak it, right? Because that's a big piece of this too. So yeah, and with like a challenge converting to a paid client, is there any sort of like, what should they be looking for in terms of a conversion rate, or like, something along those lines?
That's a good question. So it's going to vary, usually 5 to 10%, which sounds like, oh gosh, that's really low, but that's really common for webinars. It's really your conversion rate is going to be higher the more everything is in alignment. So the more your challenge speaks to your ideal client, the more that challenge also aligns to your paid program as the next step. But say, for example, if you had 200 people join your challenge, 10% would be 20 people. Like, that would be amazing. Or 5% would be 10. Like, how great would that be?
Yeah, that's really helpful.
Yeah. And then your conversion rate will also be higher depending on the price point of the paid program. So if you're leading them to, maybe it's a lower priced offer, say it's a 30-day online program and it's $97. That's a much easier yes than your 6-month program, which is $1,500. So that's something to keep in mind too. So there are some variables, but 5 to 10% is just kind of a ballpark, and yours, maybe higher. If so, amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nice.
I'm glad you asked that, because sometimes you're like, well, gosh, only, not very many people signed up for it. But when you have that range in mind, and some people will need to go through your challenge more than one time, for a lot of people, I heard James Wedmore had, I think this was on his podcast, he was saying that, so he has Business by Design, which is a $3,000 program. So it's definitely a higher price point. But when he researched their numbers, they realized on average, people go through his entire launch process 3 times. before they sign up for the program. So I thought that was really insightful. So even though your program most likely isn't going to be $3,000, maybe it is, sometimes people just need to, it has to be all about the timing. What did they have going on in their life right now? They may not have time at this point, especially depending on whatever they have going on. So for some people, it's repetition. Maybe they joined, but didn't really go through the challenge. So like you never know. You never know when someone is ready to take the next step.
And that brings up another question that I had for you, Kathleen, which is, when you are running your challenge multiple times, are you using different content every time, or are you okay to use the same content every time? Because what if you are having people come back again and again?
Yeah, you can, if it worked the first time and you're getting clients, you're getting a decent conversion rate, rinse and repeat the same one. Doesn't mean you can't also test out a different challenge. But for example, I see different challenges all the time, and it's kind of the same one. So if you find one that works, and the key to that working is ideally in between your challenges, you are also building your email list. So you're getting more people on your list that you will present the challenge to, because you need to have an audience to promote your challenge to. And that actually, I remember I told you, Jen, I was probably going to forget, but I do have a free guide that actually gives you 10 ideas. So 10 ways to promote and fill your challenge. So you can, I think Jen's going to include that link for you to download that. But that's the big thing too. Like, okay, great. I have a great idea for a challenge. I'm excited. I know what program I'm going to lead them to. How do I get people to my challenge? How do I get people to sign up when I don't have an email list yet? I have very few social media followers. So that guide is going to give you 10 great ideas. So you know how to fill your challenge.
Yeah, that's so generous, Kathleen. Thank you. And we'll include the link below, but it's healthcoachtools.net/10 ways to promote, just for anyone that's listening in, but we'll have the link for you as well. So yeah, that's super valuable, because that's this other piece to the puzzle, right? Is actually getting people into the challenge now that Kathleen has shared all these amazing tips for how to, effectively run it. So cool. Wow. Well, thank you, Kathleen.
You're welcome. I think just have fun with it. Just have fun with it.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah, that's great advice. Well, thank you, Kathleen, so much. I mean, it's always such a pleasure to chat with you and learn from you. We're always so happy to have you part of our community, and we're thankful for your time today. And I know everyone that's tuning into this session is just going to take away so much value. So thank you so much.
Always my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Kathleen.
Take care.
Bye.